What employers look for in interviews. I remember graduating from law school and being so nervous about my first interviews. I did so much prep, I got my friends to ask me questions, I was practicing, and then I got into one of the interviews and they asked me what kind of fruit I wanted to be. And I've got to say, even as someone now at Shoes of Prey who does some of the interviews, I still don't know what kind of fruit I want to be, and I don't know why they asked me that question. So it got me to thinking about the questions I ask during interviews, and I thought I might share with you my top questions that I ask and the context or what I'm trying to find out about you by asking that question. Okay, so the first one, in all fairness, is not something I'm actually going to ask you, but it's something I'm thinking about the whole time that I'm interviewing you. And that is, could I spend 12 hours stuck in a room with you? Might sound a little bit ridiculous, but actually this gets to the heart of your cultural fit for the company, which I truly believe is just as important as your skills to be able to do the role that you've come in for. So the second one is going to be a question like, tell me about a time when you've worked in a team and you've had to give feedback, or tell me when you've been in a team and you've received feedback. What I'm really trying to understand here is, are you a brilliant jerk? So we actually have in our guidelines for our culture code, no brilliant jerks, which means I don't care how totally, completely, utterly amazing you are at your skill set for this particular role. But if you can't work within a team and work well in a team, then you probably aren't the right fit for us. And the reason for that at a business level is that if we have someone there who's not treating other people well and really, great in that team environment, you're likely to demotivate everyone else and we'll get less great work out, and that's not a good thing. 3, why do you want to work at Shoes of Prey? So here I'm trying to identify your passion, and I think that passion is so underrated when it comes to hiring people, because if you're passionate about what we're doing and this particular role, then you're going to unpack it more thoroughly, you're going to think through problems more thoroughly, you're going to care about getting to the solution and how that's going to happen. So, particularly actually if you're passionate because you're a customer of it, you're more likely to identify friction points and come up with better solutions too. So really that's what I'm getting to. If you want to, why do you want to work here? What triggers you about this and makes you feel passionate? What's your dream job, and where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? So when I ask these questions, I'm trying to understand if what you really care about in your map of your career and things that excite you about your career in your mind align with the role that you're applying for. So sometimes I know people apply for jobs that are not exactly their dream job, but to get into the company that they want to be a part of, and that's okay. Sometimes that might be a miserable choice, but sometimes it works out. So it's been important for me to understand that what we need as a company also aligns with what you need as a person, because one part of our culture code is that your work should be life enhancing, and that's my way of understanding that about you. Again, this one's not really a question, but complete this task for me. So the reason that we ask you to do a task during the interview process at Shoes of Prey is because we're trying to prove, or get you to prove, that you have the skills and knowledge that you've laid out in your curriculum vitae and that you've told us about in the interview. Also trying to understand a bit about your passion, and I can tell that in a task through how timely you are in getting it back to us, your level of care in completing it, your detail, and all of that kind of thing. So it's about passion and proof of knowledge. So just remember, when you're going to an interview, every single question is there to try and get you to reveal something about yourself. I still don't know what kind of fruit thing reveals about me. I have the theory that it was either something about my personality or maybe just how I deal with weird situations. So I don't know. If you know, maybe leave it in the comments below. It would just give me back like so much brain space. But anyway, moving along, if you have any great questions or activities for interviews that you've heard, seen, experienced, please share them in the comments below. Also for giggles, if you've had any horrible interview experiences, please leave them below as well, and we can all have a giggle together. Please stay in touch and subscribe if you would like to, and don't forget, do everything before you're ready. Bye.